In the name of God the Merciful. How are you, friend? As I promised in the previous clip, this time we will travel to Ireland to learn more about the tourist attractions of this country. The next clip will be about the tourist attractions of Ukraine. If you love tourist attractions like me, don't forget to like and subscribe. Well, let's go. The Republic of Ireland is the name of a country with Dublin as its capital, which is located in the northwest of the European continent. This country is sometimes called Southern Ireland to avoid confusion with Northern Ireland. Cliffs of Moher. There are so many great adjectives used to describe these magnificent rocks, it's hard to find the right words. Spring is scary and exciting, and those rocks are absolutely beautiful and steep and have both characteristics. For those who have read about the Emerald Isle before visiting it, the cliffs will be familiar as they appear on countless postcards and guidebooks. However, no image can express it well. This is Ireland's most visited natural attraction for very good reason. About an hour and a half's drive from Galway, in neighbouring County Clare, you reach the cliffs, which are visited by nearly 1 million people from all over the world every year. The rocks stretch along the Atlantic Ocean for 8 kilometers and rise to a height of 214 meters at the highest point. Hike along the trail to experience the power of the majestic nature. Grafton Street, Dublin. Much more than a shopping street, Grafton Street is alive with florists, performers, and stalls. Here you will find countless places to stop and view the lands of the world. Café Farhang is located in the capital, and on a sunny day, you will imagine that you are in Barcelona or Lisbon. It's true, this is Dublin's shopping mall, but there's no need to spend if you visit. No matter where you go for fun, from the start or end of St. Stephen's Green, you'll find friendly and exciting service. Grab a coffee, or a legendary Irish breakfast in the morning at Billy's Oriental Cafe. Take enough time to walk through the countless alleys and streets to see what you can discover. Killarney National Park and Macross House and Gardens. If visiting the Kerry region, the 19th century Macross House and Gardens, located in the scenic Killarney National Park, should be at the top of your visit list. Located near the shores of Loch Macross, one of the 3 lakes of Killarney, this former mansion is world-renowned for its grandeur and beauty and reflects the grandeur of days gone by. When sightseeing, remember that Queen Victoria once visited here. In those days, a royal visit was no small matter. Extensive renovations and re-landscaping were done in preparation, and no detail has been spared. The houses and gardens are a real beauty, and there are carriages, the famous Killarney horses and traps, that take you back in style. The nearby traditional farms are also worth visiting to get a taste of the life of ordinary people who lived in the past. The lakes area and the Killarney National Park are full of beautiful scenery, and every route that passes through it presents a view after the view of its lakes and mountains. A highlight in the western part of Killarney National Park is the 11 kilometers drive over the Gap of Dunloe, a narrow, rocky mountain pass formed by Ice Age glaciers. This gap separates the Purple Mountain and its foothills from the McGillicuddy Mountains. Another prominent part of this national heritage is RAS Fort. Winding alleys and bike paths are the best ways to see the park. Coles Book and Trinity College, Dublin. Ireland's oldest university, Trinity College in Dublin is one of the country's ancient treasures. Trinity is a world in the world and was founded in 1592 by Queen Elizabeth I. As soon as you enter the gates and cross the cobblestones, it seems that the modernity and prosperity of the city simply disappears. Walking in and around the earth is a journey to the past and the secret and scientific world of scientists. Many store and office workers come here for lunch during the summer to escape the hustle and bustle outside. The college is famous for its treasured treasures, including the exciting Book of Cleese, on permanent display, and the Long Thinking Room, the inspiration for the library in the first Harry Potter film. Kilmainham Prison, Dublin. Kilmainham Prison stands out in many rebel songs and occupies a rather dark place in Irish history and should be top of the list for anyone interested in Ireland's troubled past. The leaders of the 1916 uprising were executed here in the prison yard after being convicted of treason. The only survivor was the future President of Ireland, Eamon Valera, who, because of his American citizenship, did not suffer that terrible fate. Since 1796, this prison was an evil institution where criminals with violations such as not being able to pay the train fare and poor and hungry people were kept there during the famine. For the Irish, Kilmainham has become a discredited symbol of oppression. Visiting here will open your eyes and feelings, and this feeling will stay with you without any change. The yard that was mentioned earlier makes the body cool. In short, this is one of Ireland's absolute must-sees. Kerry Ring. If you are in Kerry, take the time to visit Ireland's most scenic drive, the Ring of Kerry. Of course you can start from anywhere, however most tours start from Kenmaroya Killarney and naturally end where they are. The entire journey without stopping could take less than 3 hours, but this is unlikely to happen. See as many beautiful views of the Atlantic Ocean, stunningly visited islands, vast forested mountains and many beautiful villages as you can. This area of natural beauty has a wide range of outdoor activities including golf, great sports on pristine beaches, cycling, hiking, horseback riding and fishing in the wonderful fresh water and deep sea. For history buffs, there's Ogham Stone, Iron Age castles and ancient monasteries, all set in one stretch of impressive scenery. Glendalough, Co. Wicklow. Mysterious Glendalough is home to one of the most important monastic sites in Ireland. The settlement was founded in the 6th century by St. Kevin and eventually became what became known as a monastic city. Visitors have been coming to the valleys of these two lakes for thousands of years to see its rich history, magnificent scenery, abundant wildlife, and interesting archaeological finds. The site of the monastery with its spectacular tower is a delight to explore, and the surrounding forests and lakes are perfect for leisure and picnic stops. There are designated hiking trails to follow and a visitor center that provides the information you need on one day as opposed to another. Horsworth House and Gardens, Co. Wicklow. Great views, peaceful beach walks, fascinating history and the stunning backdrop of Sugarloaf Mountain are just some of the surprises in store when visiting this magnificent home, located 20 kilometers from Dublin. Currently owned by the Slazenger family, the house sits on a 47-acre residential lot. Take time to stroll through the rose gardens and culinary gardens and explore the beautiful Italian gardens. There are over 200 types of trees, shrubs, and flowers, and a special section for beloved pets buried with tombstones and inscriptions. These gardens were built over a period of 150 years in order to create properties in harmony with the surrounding environment. In the former home of the Paladin, there are craft and design shops and an excellent restaurant cafe. Truly, one of Ireland's most magnificent attractions, a visit here is not to be missed. The Little Museum of Dublin. The Little Museum, a recent addition to the capital's museums, should be top of the list for those interested in understanding Dublin's recent history. The museum expanded from a meet and greet service for visitors to what we see today. In addition to educational tours and self-guided tours, new initiatives include Dublin by Land and Sea and the Greenway Walking Tour. The permanent exhibit includes items such as the podium used by John F. Kennedy on his 1963 visit to Ireland and a U2 exhibit with memorabilia donated by band members. This is a delightful museum that showcases Dublin in all its beauty and charm. Cashel Rock. The Rock of Cashel, Ireland's most visited heritage site, shines in countless images of the Emerald Isle. Britain's Queen Elizabeth II even visited it by helicopter during her official visit in 2011. This magnificent group of medieval buildings, including a high cross and Romanesque church, a 12th century circular tower, a 15th century castle and a 13th century cathedral, are located on the limestone cliffs formed in the Golden Vale. The renovated Vickers Choral Hall is also among the structures. Tourist attractions include audio and video exhibitions. It was also said that it was once the seat of the High Kings of Munster before the Norman invasion. Blarney Castle and Blarney Stone. Probably the most famous attraction in Ireland, the Blarney Stone is located on the tower of Blarney Castle, not far from Cork. Known as the famous Irish Orator's Endowment for those who dare hang their heads from the railings to kiss it, this stone isn't the only reason to visit Blarney Castle. This building was built more than 600 years ago by the chief of the Irish tribe, Cormac McCarthy, and you can tour this huge stone building, from its towers to black holes. Extensive gardens full of stone features and hidden nooks surround it. The Blarney Woolen Mill is known for its sweaters and other knitwear, and has shops selling crystal, china, and other Irish gifts. Kinsale, Co. Cork. Steeped in history, Kinsale is located in a coastal setting at Cork's Western Gateway, attracting large numbers of tourists for decades. This city has a Spanish feel, especially in the summer. It is very surprising that in 161, 3 years after the defeat of the Spanish Armada, the Spanish sent a contingent to Ireland, most of whom disembarked at Kinsale. This caused the English to besiege the city and eventually led to the defeat of the Spanish and Irish forces by the superior British power. Kinsale is now an attraction for those who love sailing, fishing, walking, amazing scenery and great food. The city is full of different restaurants and good seafood. Among other things, there are annual food festivals and a visit to the impressive Charles Fort is not to be missed. Dingle Peninsula and the Atlantic Forest Way. The Dingle Peninsula is part of the Atlantic Forest Trail, a 1,700-mile route around the west of Ireland and its adjacent coast that combines forest beauty, history, and glimpses into Irish culture, language and tradition. This area has been designated as Gaeltacht, where the Irish language and culture are protected by a government grant, and this is no accident. Here you will hear them speaking and singing in Gaelic languages, which you can read from the signs, although everyone also speaks English. Ending at Dunmorehead, the westernmost point of Ireland, the peninsula is bordered by sandy beaches and rugged cliffs. The stone huts scattered across the open landscape were built by monks in the early centuries. Here you will find other historic stone buildings dating back to the Bronze Age. St. Stephen's Green, Dublin. With a colourful history and beloved by Dubliners, St. Stephen's Green is a great place to exercise, enjoy a picnic or feed the ducks. During the rebellion of 1916, guards were given a special duty on the sides of the park. Daily problems stop until the ducks are properly fed. This only happens in Dublin. Today, Green Garden, as it is known among the locals, has beautiful gardens that are maintained, duck ponds, available throughout our beautiful bridges, restored grounds, mature trees to rest under, and a playground. Surrounded by many of Dublin's finest Georgian buildings, as well as the iconic Shelburne Hotel, built in 1824, where afternoon tea was served in the Lord Mayor's Hall, it is a real attraction. English Market, Cork. A visit to Cork would not be complete without a visit to the English Market. Although it is probably surprising that the best attraction of the city of Cork includes the word English, because usually the people of Cork consider themselves to be far more ideological and cultural than their counterparts in Dublin and avoid their neighbour Britain. Having said that, they do have a special place in their hearts for this indoor market, which features the best local produce including the freshest seafood, artisanal breads, and excellent cheeses. There has been a market here since the late 1700s, although its distinctive entrance on Princes Street dates back to 1862. Iconic images of him sharing a joke with fisherman Pat O'Connell went around the world. For those who wish to stay a while, there is a cozy farm cafe and restaurant upstairs that they can go to. Aran Island. These islands, which were first brought to the world's attention in 1934 by the Mart Aran documentary, have been welcoming visitors ever since. Here it gives a taste of the Ireland of the past. The first language is Gaelic. There are only 1,200 inhabitants, and once on the beach you will feel like you are in a time warp. There are 3 islands, the largest being Inishmore, then Onishima, and the smallest being Inisher. These wild, stormy, rugged, and utterly unique islands offer visitors an experience unlike any other. After experiencing these, the great stone fort of Don Awangasa and the prominent cliffs of Arran will never be forgotten. The local culture is completely different from the mainland. The archaeological heritage cannot be found anywhere else, and the rich scenery is very attractive. Bonetry Castle and Mellat Park. A visit to the Shannon area would not be complete without coming here. Dating back to 1425, this medieval castle in Ireland was beautifully restored in the 1950s. With a fine collection of 15th and 16th century furniture and curtains, this castle takes you back to medieval antiquity. The evening parties were great fun, although certain misbehaving guests risked going to the dungeons. The impressive national park has brought Ireland alive for centuries. It is a nation park with more than 30 buildings in a village, and a rural area with village shops, home to gardens and streets to explore. All this is fun and interesting for children and families.